Second hour of Authentic News right here on RBN Live this 4th day of April 2025, where I take your calls. JP from Chicago, join the conversation. JP.
Hello, Jim. I just got to say, I hope you have a good weekend. Take it easy this weekend. You need to relax and slow your heart down. It's very important. Don't take this stuff too serious, bro. Yeah, I know we are at 89 seconds to midnight, according to the Chicago Bulletin of Nuclear Scientists. Did you know that? 89 seconds to midnight.
Yeah, 89 seconds. Yeah, I would put us a whole lot closer. Maybe 9 seconds, not 89. Go ahead.
I agree. I gauge it at 5 seconds. Now, we got three fronts going on. We got the Ukraine war with little Hitler and little Putin, the commie, against the Nazi, is classic Hegelian dialectic. Then you got the Middle East on fire right now with Israel attacking everybody all over the place. Syria, Lebanon, Gaza. They're really stoked on going after Iran. I mean, if you watch those Israeli channels, man, the guys are like all giddy about doing that. And then you got Taiwan now, you know, and Trump laid down an economic war with all these tariffs. This is economic war, and China's hitting back, you know. So, yeah, we're pretty close. We're pretty close to midnight, Jim. So we should enjoy every minute, you know. Hey, did you know Pete's code name? Pete had sex. He had a code name from his ex-wife. You know what it was?
Nah, tell me.
Satan. She
Satan.
called him Satan.
Satan. I don't think that's meant as a compliment. JP, you tell me if I'm wrong.
I mean, his girlfriends would text one another, Satan's here, and you know, he'd come in with the hard-on pills and want to have sex all the time. You know, that's the rumors. I don't know if it's true. But Lakey Waltz too. I mean, I don't like these guys are kind of beta males. I'd rather have McGregor in there, like you said, General Flynn, Colonel McGregor, even General McInerney, who's on John B. Wells shows on the Saturday Intel show. These guys would make much better generals, but you know why they didn't put them in? Because they're not pro-Zionist. They want these guys. They want the goy beta males where they can push along so they can push their agenda. That's what it's all about. Sorry to say. But one thing Dane said, I remember him telling me about a prophecy. He said right before World War III, he said there'd be some kind of space, EMP, maybe a meteor event, but he said people would look up and they would leave their tanks and they would go home to their mothers and their wives. And that's a quote from Major Dane. So I don't know, maybe they're going to prevent World War III. Maybe there's going to be some big event at the end of it, but we're really close to it now, Jim, and I don't blame you for being worried because I've been watching this. I've been doing the Wu-Wei on Ukraine for 3 years now, and it's just getting worse. Even after the peace deals, they're still going at it. They're still going full time, and Russia hasn't taken off the gloves yet fully. You know, the thing is, I think we're up close to 1.5 million killed KIA on the Ukrainian side, but the Russians, they mask it. Maybe they're about 250,000, but they've been sending all these North Koreans. They've been sending Chechens. They've unloaded all their prisoners. So they're really good at masking their deaths. And same with Ukraine. They've been using a lot of French, you know, foreign mercenaries, you know, foreign legions, and they've been putting a lot of guys from Poland and Romania. And even some of our special forces guys have died there, Jim. I've seen the body bags. And when Prigozhin, I think that's why they killed Prigozhin, because Prigozhin was a mercenary and he wanted to end the war. And it seems like both sides were making money from prolonging the war. And when Prigozhin finished that Bakhmut operation, which is very successful, by the way, Russians kicked ass with the Chechens in that battle. They really dominated it. But I think they whacked. I think Putin whacked him because he was getting too close to the truth, that they didn't want to end the war. They wanted to keep it going to profit from both sides. And the bankers make money either way, just like the Napoleonic Wars, World War I, II, and they're trying to push World War III. And I hope we don't get there, Jim. But we're damn close.
We sure share that sentiment, JB. What else is on your mind today?
Well, let's make a deal with Trump. You know, he's always about let's make a deal, and he's pushing it, raise your edge, but I think he's got a plan. I think he's going to pull a rabbit out of his head, and I hope he can prevent this by making
this
deals
Iran
with
thing,
everybody.
the Iran thing. That's what's got me most concerned. Yeah.
You got to make a deal with these guys, and they're reasonable. They're intelligent people. They're an old culture, and the only problem is the Islam thing. And we don't know Turkey's like double siding back. They're trying to work with the Russians and getting, you know, and same with the Saudis. They're trying to get in with the BRICS. They're both trying to get in with the BRICS, and they're playing both sides against the middle. And then you got all this Syria, and Syria is just wide open now. You got mujaheddins, you got the old, you know, guys controlled by the CIA. You got the Israeli guys, and then you got the Turkish-led guys in there, and they're all competing for land. And the Alawites have been murdered, and the Christians are being murdered up there by Latakia, which is the Russian air base there, and they've killed thousands of people just in the last few weeks there. So that the media doesn't talk about this stuff. That's why I've been reporting this for 3 years, and I'm heavily shadow banned, but at least I'm reporting it. And I get a lot of chatter from Telegram, and I get enemy chatter and a lot of stuff, you know, can't believe all of it, but at least it's a lot. I got to tell you, it's a lot closer to the truth than our Western media, because our Western media is just all pro Zelensky all the time, pro-Israel all the time, and they don't show the other side, you know. And that's what I like about you. You show both sides of everything.
Much appreciated, JP. Want a final thought?
Well, have a good weekend. Now, remember what I said. Take it easy, relax, get away from all up media, and just take your shoes off. Get a massage. Go down to Monona. Get a massage. My ex-girlfriend at Monona Gardens. She'll take care of you. Tell you're a friend of Pete, and she'll take care of you. Just kidding. JP.
I think I'm going to have a beer after this show. Wayne in Texas. Wayne, join the conversation.
Jim, hi. Thanks for taking the call. And just want to say you got a great show. And I really like some of the callers, but I also have to make this call to push back against some of the nonsense I've heard, you know, even this week, you know. And one that comes to mind is a fellow, I think, from Arkansas, I believe, who was extolling the virtues of Louis Farrakhan, being so honorable and welcoming and stuff like that. But let me ask you a question, if you recall. Is this the same Louis Farrakhan that said white man is the mortal enemy and we cannot accept him? White people deserve to die. Murder and lying comes easy for white people. Does that sound very honorable to you, Jim?
I assume that is a Farrakhan quote. No, of course, I would take exception to that. I agree that was a deplorable remark. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. And then I think the fellow launched into, you know, some of the pitfalls of Trump and everything. And I believe at some point when he was criticizing Trump, you asked him, who is a better candidate? And all he could come up with is Oliver something, or he forgot the name of a third guy. And then he brings up Jill Stein, who got a whopping 0.4% of the vote in 2024. And all I can figure is she got most of the latte-sipping crowd in Starbucks, you know, for that matter. So that's
she hasn't polled very well. Keep going. Go ahead. Give us more, Wayne.
Yeah. And the other thing that kind of irritates me is the criticism of Elon, who may not really speak the best or has some issues, you know, the way he verbalizes. But let me say this. This guy is working for free. He's lost billions of dollars of his net worth because of the attacks on Tesla and everything else. And with the Doge Committee so far, I believe they have saved $140 billion up to $200 billion already. And then the other day, if you recall, he did that report where he and his team found where the Democrats had put over 2 million illegals on Social Security, got them full benefits and right to vote and all that stuff. And yet this guy takes such a beating in the press and everywhere else, and even some of the patriot crowd, too. And I just don't understand it. Yeah. I think the guy is a real patriot, you know, along with some of these other folks. Now, again, they're not perfect, But again, would you rather have Kamala? Would you rather have Jill Stein? Would you rather have some of these other jokers that were running, or even Olive or something, for that matter? So it just really irritates me there.
Yeah, no matter how you cut it, the idea of preferring Kamala and Walz over Trump and Vance is ridiculous. It's just that Trump has gone so far in the defense of Israel and promotion of genocide that it's clearly a problem for the United States. And, if he could rein it in, it would make a huge difference, but he's going all out. But I think your points are well made, and I'm a big Musk fan myself. I think he's done a huge amount of good. I think in a couple of months, he's exposed more graft and corruption in the American government than we've had exposed in our entire history, not just in the 20th century even. I mean, the guy is doing a great job, in my opinion.
Yeah. And Jim, if you want to talk about genocide, let's talk about the 300,000 Americans that have been sacrificed through the fentanyl crisis the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I know the Gaza situation is horrible, but 300,000 Americans, and that's why I believe Trump is a patriot for getting that border shut down. He's going to save a lot of lives from people who would ordinarily die from fentanyl, maybe raped or murdered by an illegal alien. So, I mean, you got to put it in context, I think.
Yeah. No, I think that's a very good point, Wayne. A very good point. You have a final thought?
Yeah, sure do. Jim, here's my challenge to all the anti-Trumpers, and this would benefit you and RBN. I challenge them to come publicly on and say that if there is a Doge check refund from Elon and all that they're going to donate that whole check to RBN and yourself for your activities too, because you put up with a lot of crap, and I think you deserve it as well as RBN. But I want them to come on publicly and say that, see if they have the guts to do that, and if they'll follow up on it, because I'd like to see who the anti-Trumpers are in California, New Jersey, North Carolina, and other places that would come on and do that, and see if they would donate that check.
Wayne, that's very nice. Very nice. Great call. Thank you very, very much. Miles from Maine, I'm glad you're back, Miles. Regardless of what you have to say, I'm glad you're back. Go ahead, Miles. You're on the air.
All right. Thanks, Jim. I called because I heard you misrepresent and editorialize my comments twice this week, so I'd like to clarify those items.
Please do.
One is when people make comments are incorrect, partially correct, or retaliatory in nature. I believe rightfully you should say you need to look into that more carefully, or it might not be entirely correct, or something to that effect. Because, after all, that's why people listen to this network and not CNN or MSNBC, because, the network's based on the whole moniker that because you can handle the truth. So, I don't see anything wrong with, if someone's saying something like that. And then,
hey, Miles, if I got something right, I want you to call in and call me out on it. I'm glad you're doing that. Go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
Okay. And then contrary to what you mentioned I don't like a caller simply, as you put it, because they agree with me. I like many callers who have not agreed with me.
Well,
I
was attributing that to Tom in Florida. I was saying why Tom was wildly enthusiastic about you and Joe from Tennessee. Not you, Miles. I did not say that of you.
I got it. But, I appreciate their points and contributions in an effort to make clarification. And that's a good way to learn, too. And, Dan from Washington, Rick from Arizona, Paul from New Jersey are just a few.
I didn't say I didn't say they were wrong just because Tom agreed with them. I didn't say they were wrong. So, please accept that, too. Go right ahead. Right ahead. I'm glad you're here.
Well, I agree with Tom when Tom's right, or Joe when Joe's right, or Peter as well. And also, I've always liked Peter and had good comments with him. And I wouldn't think anything otherwise. I like Peter. We were callers commenting way back, before you were even on here, with RBN.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'd like to mention is I've listened to Joe from Tennessee call several times, and I didn't hear him say anything racist, or if he had, I would not have disagreed with his being banned. But it was the way it kind of went about that was crazy. He was banned, then he wasn't banned, then you had to talk to Peter about the ban, and then we didn't even, no one even considered about a warning or graduated discipline. And I don't know what the racist comment was myself, but I just wanted to clarify my position. I like your show.
Yeah. Go ahead, Miles. Complete the sentence.
Yeah, I like the show. I like your show. You're a knowledgeable, very knowledgeable, accomplished guy. And that's all I wanted to say. And with regards to Wayne, I wanted to know if Wayne recalled when Farrakhan also said, he said, I used to believe it was the white man, but I learned it was the Jew. That was one of his comments later. So maybe Wayne was referring to earlier on with that comment. Of course, Farrakhan is so kind of media popular. He has so many comments. But I think as he gone on, he realized that everything he was mischaracterizing wasn't actually always the white man, but maybe someone he thought was the white man at the time until, he considered things.
That's good.
With that, Jim, thank you. I hope you have a great weekend.
Hang on one sec. Listen. Turns out that Joe in Tennessee and Peter in L.A. have had a long relationship. They used to talk for hours on the phone. In this particular occasion, however, Joe from Tennessee was going after Peter and made a point of pointing out that Peter has a black wife. He did not need to add that. It was deliberate as a smear. It was intended as a negative.
But hold on, that's my contention. Is that racist to say someone's black? I mean, what if you'd have said because Peter's got an African-American wife, but the context was that Peter called President Trump, a pussy, and Joe said, hey, you can't even stand up to your black wife. Now, I don't feel that's racist. What if you'd have said your African-American wife or your Chinese wife or whatever? I don't necessarily feel that was racist, but I don't know. Maybe some people do. But you know what? I don't like seeing any of these people argue because they're all good people, and I appreciate all their calls and the show and the network.
Mind you, Maz, I've invited Joe back, and others have told me, no, it's not going to happen. But he is welcome back. And it was my interpretation. I'm the guy who's got to make the calls, Miles, right? Given that I'm the host. So that was my judgment.
I know, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I think Joe's kind of raw about it, though.
I don't have any objection to your disagreeing with my interpretation. I don't have a problem with that at all. And now, as you know, I have invited him back. So thank you, Miles. A very, very good call.
Hey, Jim, thanks for taking my call. I hope you have a great weekend. And if you want a fantastic beer, try Bell's Two Hearted. It's been the #1 beer in the world for several years and the #1 in the U.S. for many, many years. Bell's Two Hearted. Give it a try, and I think you'll enjoy it. And I hope you have a good weekend and enjoy your beer.
Thanks, Miles. You're always welcome here. Come back anytime. Let's see. We got Renee standing by. Renee, I know you're going to have a lot to say, girl. Go for it.
Yeah, I really like the direction you're moving in because I think it's closer to reality where you're more able to look at both sides instead of just being firmly on one side. And you know what I really like today? Too? I don't think I heard one.
Hang on, Renee. Got a break, but you're on right after. Stand by. We'll be right back with Renee.
Church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please.
Renee, please continue.
Yes, I don't care if it's the press secretary, that little woman, or anyone else. I don't like when people do that diversionary tactic of, but what about, But what about Hunter? But what about Hillary? But what about her emails? But. Okay? It's like, that's the past. You know, it's like this woman who her husband wouldn't stop watching those World War II movies, and it was getting on her nerves. So she walked by him and she went, "We won!" Okay? It's like, you know, you won, okay? That's the past. Biden's got one foot in the grave. We are at a point where we could end up in World War III. Playing that game is a waste of time, okay? What we need to worry about is now. And I'm glad to see you're pretty much, like I said, what Trump did to everybody is called a bait and switch or a Jekyll and Hyde. I think we should actually start making these politicians sign an agreement. What they promise us before we vote for them, if they fail, if they do a flip on us, they have to sign an agreement that they will step down and resign immediately. I don't know what else to do to try to stop this, okay? I'm tired of this bait and switch. So, you know, so I tell you what we really need right now is order followers hold the system of slavery in place. All these people that are trying to advance themselves in the little hierarchical pecking order, carrying out the orders, whether it's the military, police, anybody in this government system, okay? The thing is, we need people right now that can face reality. You know, I think some of these people, veterans, need to print out a picture of Smedley Butler and put it on their bathroom mirror, on their refrigerator, as a reminder all the time. All I'm asking for, I want you to think about what Smedley Butler did, because it's truly phenomenal, the moral courage he had. That man had invested like decades in a certain world view, okay? His world view, it was his identity, it was his tribe. He had to come face to face, and see, few people have the moral courage to do this, okay? Look how much he invested in that worldview, identity, tribe, everything. That was his whole world, and he had the moral courage to face the truth, and what he did was wrong, and come out and try to do something to fix it. All I want is the veterans and people to have like 100%. Because let's face it, not many people in the military have done what Smedley Butler did. Some people are just paper pushers and potato peelers, okay? They need to have the moral courage to face the truth that, and look, see, you were duped. I'm sorry for you. I'm not blaming you. They tricked you with lies to become cannon fodder and to work for what was often evil purposes, to go around the world killing people and stealing resources. You need to kind of forgive yourself for that, but face reality. Somebody duped you. This game has been going on for a long time. I think Napoleon even said it was amazing what you could get a man to do with a little piece of metal hanging from a little piece of like stripy grosgrain ribbon. The thing is, it's not y'all's fault, but y'all need to face reality and have the moral courage to face the truth, because I think if veterans organize, I know this guy Cliff Cash Comedy, he's trying to, like, he's organizing people to at the Heritage Foundation, and he's trying to organize veterans because he feels that a lot of people will listen to veterans. So he's collecting up the views of the veterans and stuff, that they will listen to the veterans more than they will listen to some other people. Because right now the thing is, it's gonna take the people to remember their oath to the Constitution instead of Donald Trump, because I'm afraid we're liable to end up in World War III. So I'm just saying, people, you know, try and review that greatly. Say, if there's anybody I could dig up from the grave right now to help us, it'd be Smedley Butler. Okay?
That's great. That's great, Renee. For those who don't know, Smedley Butler was among the most decorated Marine Corps generals in history, had 2 Congressional Medals of Honor. He was recruited by a bunch of then Republicans, really rich guys, to bring about a coup against Theodore FDR, but he played along until he got them all identified and then revealed the plot none of them, alas, were ever punished. But what Rene is really talking about is realization he spent his whole career promoting U.S. business interests by invading countries in order to seize their resources, which he exposed in a little pamphlet called War is a Racket. Final thoughts, Rene?
You summed that up beautifully. And you say, War is a Racket, they can read it free online, maybe go to Wikipedia, read his biography or whatever, because the thing is, too many people, I think they think that show The Apprentice that Trump ran is reality. The truth is, He was a lousy businessman who bankrupted almost all his businesses.
Hey.
And the thing is, and he is...
Thanks for a great...
Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy.
Next caller up, Tom from Florida. Let her rip, Tom.
Yeah, Jim, you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, good day, everybody. I just want to say, I have to agree with another. Hey, like you say, I have to agree with Miles. Another great call by Miles. And I guess I'm being biased. That was a great call.
I liked it too, Tom. I liked it too. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, and I did too. But Jim, first off, here we go again with the bashing of Trump. Ring a ding, he's a be mad. By the way, Jim, you saw what happened today with the tariffs? Have you heard about the tariffs?
Tell us. No, tell us, Tom.
Well, Vietnam just ended all their tariffs on United States products. Argentina just ended all their tariffs on our products, whether beef. No more tax. No more. It's going to be fair and free trade with these countries, Jim. Okay, China. The only one that we know is our super enemy is these Chinese chinkos that want to destroy us because they just put a 35 tariff on us. So, what I guess I'm trying to say, Jim, is I got to relax here. What I guess I'm trying to say is, we know these devious Chinese, what their whole modus operandi has been, since Tricky Dick went to open the bamboo curtain. When he went there in 1970, 74? They were all on bicycles. They had no highways, hardly. Who's the one that financed them Chinese, those red Marxist communists? We did. And to hear ring-a-ding-ding bash on Trump every time she calls your show, never did she ever bash on Joe Biden. The whole time that Biden was in office in the last 6 months, I never heard Renee say a damn thing about Joe Biden, that monster criminal. I don't know.
Tom, I thought her remarks today were all very well taken. I didn't have any problem. I want to hear go ahead, give me your take on how things are going. What do you feel about this idea of bombing Iran? Are you all on board with that?
No, I'm not. Hell no. But, Jim, listen, before I go to Iran and all the Middle East, let's talk about our own country again. I appreciate when Renee brings up Fauci. I really do. She's right on target there. When she talks about this criminal Fauci, his wife just got fired by Bobby Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy is fired Fauci's wife, who's making $450,000 a year. To make diseases what to kill us all off?
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
Yeah, and you know, Tom,
I already told you they ought to do that rat. What?
Many in the audience may not know she was the head of the ethics panel for the CDC or the FDA. She had a high-level ethics when her husband, was performing the most unethical act possible by promoting mass murder.
You remember what they did to the Rosenbergs, Jim? What did they do to the Rosenbergs?
Electric chair.
I think they gassed them, whatever the hell they did. Well, Fauci and his wife both need to get that same treatment. They need to both get the same treatment as the Rosenbergs. Now, you asked me about the Middle East. Let's not kid ourselves, Jim. We don't need none of these Muslims coming here to the United States. We've got enough problems dealing with these third world monster invaders. So I say pull out of there. Let them kill each other. Let the Jews and the Arab ragheads go at it, and let them kill each other. They shoot me, I shoot you. Together we'll be happy. Giddy up. That's how they look at us. To go aim. So I say let them kill each other. Pull all the Christians out of there, all the Christian soldiers. Pull them all out of the Middle East and let them do each other. We don't need this insanity anymore. We need to start taking care of our own country, which is the U.S. of A. And when I mean get our manufacturing going back together, getting everything together, and start taking care of having white women, getting white babies with white women, and paying them $100,000 for birthing babies. What do you think of that, Jim? Give them $100,000. What was the proposal again, Tom? It sounded pretty fantastic. Tell me. I say give every Caucasian white woman who loves this country and honors this Constitution of ours and our Bill of Rights and everything this government stands for, and teach them cursive, give them $100,000 to make their kids. They'll learn how to write their name in cursive. You sign a pledge that you will obey by that, you'll get $100,000 to raise your child and give them a college and get them educated and to start loving our founding fathers and put our statues back. That's what we need. We don't need all this nincompoop nonsense, these discombobulated morons running our government anymore. They're only, and by the way, what is everybody in RBN going to understand? You have a problem, you call the number I gave you, 202-224-3121, and you tell them we're fed up when 2% of the Jews are running 98% of the American public. They're a super minority. They're not even a minuscule minority telling the majority what to do. I told you 100 times. It's the asphalt's telling the gasoline what to do. And by the way, that guy that keeps calling me flamboyant, I want him to remember I'm fabulously flamboyant. Okay? And he's a rebel. This guy's a rebel with a cause. It's not like the James Dean movie where he's a rebel without a cause. I'm going to call him a rebel with a cause. How's that, Jim?
Great, Tom. That's great. Give me a few more thoughts. Go ahead. Give me a
flamboyant, Mr. Fabulous, flamboyant, machine gun, Tommy Thompson, whatever, Tommy machine gun, Tommy Thompson machine gun, whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me late for dinner. Now, going back, all the great calls that haven't called your show, I hope they're hearing me, and I hope they do start, at least once a week, give your call in and, give us some pertinent information that's very pertinent to your RBN. So that was a nice step forward. And, look, here's a beautiful day here in South Florida. It's a beautiful clear sky day. Little couple of little mini clouds. But, the weather's fantastic even in this time of the year. I can't believe it's still this cool out. This time of the year, it's kind of something. Hey, if there's global warming, I love it. Hey, by the way, Jim, did you know in Iceland there's no cockroaches or mosquitoes? You know that?
Because of the cold? Is it because of the cold? It's got something to do with the environment. Tell me, Tom, what's the explanation?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's right. You're right, Jim. It has to do with the environment. Roaches and mosquitoes can't survive in Iceland because they don't have enough time to multiply because of the seasons over there. And I didn't realize it, Jim, and I watched a channel about Iceland, which was amazing to me. 98% of 98% they get free electricity in Iceland. Basically, you don't even pay for electric bill hardly. You might get like a $25 electric bill a month.
I think I heard that, Tom. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, and you can retire over there. They say for $2,200 in Reykjavik and live like a king. Hell, I might move to Iceland. I think Bubba Scott.
Tom, give us a final thought.
My final thought. Well, yeah, my final thought. I want everybody to have a nice. I hope some Trump bashers call in again so I can refute him on Monday. But I think Donald Trump's done a lot of fantastic. I think he's done some fantastic things about immigration. Right now, Jim, they just hit the 134,000 illegals are deported out here. So I agree with you, Jim. That's not enough, but it's a start.
Yeah.
In the first 100 days, it should be at 1 million right now. Well, let's give him some time. when he's already got almost close to 150,000 of them out of here. So that's
Yeah,
a start.
yeah.
And one thing I would like everybody in RBN to do for me, let's all call our congressmen and demand, like Layla says, let's make English an official language of the United States and
Thank
Canada.
you, Tom.
It should
Good
be the
stuff.
official
Yeah,
language.
Thank you very much. Alexander in Canada, join the conversation.
Yes, hello, sir. I just want to make a couple of points. Can you hear me?
Sure, yes, we can.
You see, sir, I've been hearing people on the network saying that Hitler escaped to Argentina, and JP saying, "Oh, we have a big problem with Islam," and you see, sir, these are all these are all arguments that don't make any sense. And see, so when people call in and say these things, they're damaging the network. So, in my opinion, like, we should be focusing on what's happening now. Like, World War II was over. World War II was done a long time ago. Hitler escaped Argentina. All that is a waste of time, in my opinion.
Alexander, let me just interject. This is a free speech channel, right? And I invite all points of view. And frankly, you can't figure out the truth if you don't allow argument between different points of view. So I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody having a point of view, even if it differs what you or I might think. I think eventually it promotes a search for truths. But go right ahead with the rest of your thoughts.
Yeah, I totally agree that everybody has the freedom to say what they want. I'm just saying, like, when you make arguments like that, those are not really like those damage, like that argument damages the credibility of the network. That's just you see, sir. I remember one time this guy called in a couple of months ago about the JFK issue, and you screamed at him because the guy had no idea what he was talking about. And also, I
screamed at him.
Yeah, I remember. Like, you were really pissed off because the guy kept on saying things that never made any sense. Anyway, I'm just saying, Caesar, like, people should be calling in and making good arguments. I'm just saying, so so the network doesn't get damaged.
In a perfect world, go on.
Yeah. And Caesar, I totally agree with your comment in the first hour. You said the Jew United States of America. I totally agree with that. It's like and Caesar, this was all planned up. You and I talked about this 2 years ago, that they're planning to attack Iran, and you said they're going to make a false flag. I'm sure there's going to be a false flag in the planning right now to attack Iran. They're they're gonna go through Iran, through the United Arab Emirates or whatever country.
No, they've all refused. All the Arab countries have refused to allow America to attack Iran using their airspace. They've all refused.
Yeah. You see, so I know that, but I'm just saying, like, they're gonna like surround Iran, and they're gonna do covert operations and all that dirty business to start a flag and all.
I'm all on the side of Iran. I've been to Iran. I admire Iran. I appreciate its values. It's the most peace-loving nation among the great nations of the world today. The idea of attacking Iran is ridiculous, irresponsible, corrupt, immoral. But it's a Zionist game plan because they want to promote Israel. I say to hell with that.
Yeah, it's all for their benefit, for the Jewish people's benefit. And Caesar, I want to make one more comment, and then I'm going to let you go. Caesar, regarding Elon Musk, people are attacking Elon Musk because of his support of the genocide, correct? Or am I missing something?
Oh, I hadn't picked up on that. Was Musk enthusiastic about genocide? Obviously, I would disagree with him about that, as I do with Trump. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but isn't that like one of the reasons why the protesters are attacking their company?
I thought it all had to do with they taking away their benefits by cutting the size of government and reducing their gravy train. I have not picked up that it was because of support for genocide. If that's the case, I missed it. Go ahead.
You see, so my final thought is that we have to be careful with Trump. I understand that Trump did good things with the immigration, but also sort of like he said that there are only two genders, but at the same time he hired a gay man as Secretary of Treasury. He hired Kash Patel as the FBI guy. So like he's not doing things that he's supposed to be doing, so I'm just saying, recognizing there are only two genders isn't taking a stand on gay or lesbian sexual orientation. I would tend to disagree with you about that, Alexander. But finish your thought. Go right ahead. Finish your thought. Well, I'm just saying that like he believes in two genders. So he's on the same mindset that there's only male and female, and a man marries a woman. See, the Secretary of Treasury guy is a gay man.
That's a further step. When he affirms two genders, he's not thereby also opposing gay or lesbian relationships. So I think you've just gone a bridge too far there. Alexander, I like your calls. Thank you very much, my friend. You have a great weekend. Carol in Idaho, join the conversation. Carol.
Dr. Jim, sir. Good show today. Good callers again, as always. I always enjoy hearing from Miles and Gabriel and Alexander. All of them are excellent support to you. It was actually Renee's call that got me to the phone. And kind of aside from what Tom said in response to her call, I really loved and highly commend what she had to say today. So I thank her for that. Anyway, it was your own response to Renee is the main thing that, again, brought me to the phone. It kind of raised a question in my mind, and it's this, Dr. Fetzer. I wonder how you can be so totally godly in everything you say and do, and yet you're not even sure about exactly who this God or what this God concept is. I just kind of say that with a smile. Okay, so anyway, it seems to me that you and your whole life is sort of like a witness unto yourself. So you're a Jesus without even realizing it.
Yeah, that's
all I want to say. And thank you, because you're
kind and generous. That's such a kind and generous thing to say. I'm really touched. I'm touched, and I wish I could fulfill that concept in every aspect of my life. There have been times in the past when I've made decisions that were wrong decisions, and I've grieved over them. If only we could,
join the human race. Yeah, join the human race.
There's like 5 minutes of my whole life. 5 minutes, if I could redo, would have made enormous differences. But you are very dear to say those things, Carol. Very dear.
Thank you for being a part of a huge part of RBN. I'm so happy to support RBN. If nobody else was there, I'd want to support RBN because of the Jim Fetzer's 2 hours. So thank you. God bless you. And who was it that said? Was it JP that said you should have a relaxing weekend or something like that? I hope you do.
Yeah.
All right. Bless you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Carol. Oh, my goodness. That was wonderful. Let's see, Frances, join the conversation, girl.
Well, hello, young man. CEO, guten Tag. Arrivederci. Namaste. CEO, go figure. Chowan. For one thing, to start off with, I've heard a lot of wonderful callers for that matter, and I have to applaud you on contending with several of them that were like, okay, let's get this. As the line goes, back to life, back to reality. And that's from a song that's been way back there. But anyway, aside from that, all I can say about the whole thing about people being snatched up by ICE, discriminately for that matter, I almost wanted to say indiscriminately, they can be brought back. So quite frankly, in that respect, free Garcia. I mean, they know who he is, they know where he is, and he apparently should not be imprisoned just because someone has no written proof, just hearsay. If I hear anything more about hearsay from some political mouth in the District of Criminals, then I'm liable to scream, because that is just such a very bad form of justice that's gone awry, for that matter. It's just reprehensible. Oh, and before I forget, I didn't hear whether or not Tom's wife had actually his other half had gotten out of the hospital or not, as I last heard. But if not, or did, I wish her a speedy recovery. After all, she is his better half and helps to keep his sanity intact. Maybe, I hope. But aside from that issue, this whole almost forgot one thing, my dear. I'm glad that Toodles in the story of Peter Pan actually found his marbles, because apparently there are some missing in the District of Criminals, as you pointed out earlier. That is a bit of a dismay to a lot of people. That that's absolutely shocking. I'm stunned. I'm dismayed, and I'm like, you've got to be joking me. But yes, I have seen some videos of some actions and so forth that made me, excuse me, do what? But anyway, aside from that, Peter and Layla and so forth, they crack me up to no end. And the people of Palestine, they deserve better, and they have to get better. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, hands off of Iran. Hands off. But as far as Iceland goes, Greenland goes, Iran, Canada goes, put your hands up and step away from the countries, and that's it. That is the people's voice, not the government's voice. And with that, have a fun weekend.
Thanks, Francis. You too. Bubba Scott Reb, you're on the air.
I'll keep phoning in because this is working. Yesterday, you harassed with this broadcast the United States Joint Chiefs of Staff, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. And they don't have the one selected yet, but you tore into their office. They were blowing into the phone. They won't even want to be on listening anymore. And we really gave it to them. And like I said, we're not the people versus state of Colorado. We're the U.S. government versus state of Colorado. We don't work for the government. They work for us. And us is on the brass buttons of the service number. Just tell your family this. You don't ever want to be behind their razor wire. It's never the Justice Department, the people versus you when you're charged with one of their, whatever they want to charge you with. It's always the state, because they can rig this so that you're convicted and then you're the property of the state, which means whatever they want to do to you. If that's okay with you, we don't want you in America. Get the hell out of here. This is so far gone from the idea of independence that we don't know what to say. If you're either behind their razor wire, it's your fault. You don't want to be. That's why we do this, because we were almost murdered by these bastards, and they're still out there, and there's no remorse for what they do. So you talk about some man, so you can go around the world being criminals, stealing for these rich people. No, you're doing this for the U.S. government, not the state. We want the death penalty for the state, not for individuals, but we strongly believe in the death penalty for the state, because even the goofballs with the powdered wig said, in order to make a more perfect union, they said, so that's our goal, perfection. They said, what are you about? We're about perfection. And they stutter. Well, that's what this is about, a perfect union. And that means no more United Nations. Them bastards have to die. They're not going to leave on their own. Everything you spew about on this broadcast, it all goes back to the United Nations. It all goes back to the 911 bastards on your street who don't give a damn and have no remorse for what they're about to do to you. And it's coming. They're already talking about the shelves being empty. You're not going to see the chaos coming. It's going to hit you one day, and you're going to wish, why didn't somebody do something about it? That's Bubba Scout Reb. We're the only ones outside the Justice Department. That's why I can call in and call about tanks and gunships and killing and carpet bombing and sticking napalm to these bastards. That's what we're all about. We're for independence. Always been. Everything we're about.
Good call. Very coherent. JP, you got a final thought you want to squeeze in edgewise? Go ahead, JP. You're back.
Yeah, hey, Bubba, I had a friend in Boulder, Colorado named Bubba who was a 7-foot-tall Viking married to a woman from Australia, blonde. Good friend of mine. He's a mason. He did stone building up there in Boulder. I don't think he's the same guy, though. Probably different. Hey,
Go ahead, JP.
I definitely got to respond to Alex, and it's not his real name. He's a cuck Muslim from Canada, okay? He's faking his name. That's not his real name, okay?
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay, JP. That's okay.
Politics and religion. I don't want to get into politics and religion. I could go all day long on Islam.
Thanks, JP.
But
Thanks, you have
Hitler did escape. He did go to South America and Argentina, and it's been declassified.
Yeah, thanks, JP. You have a great weekend. Meanwhile, everyone, spend as much time as you can with your family, your friends, the people you love and care about. We don't know how much time we have left. Use it wisely. Have a great weekend and support RBN. Hopefully, we'll talk again on Monday.